Debbie is lingering off the South Carolina shore. What impacts we'll see as it's expected to head back towards us.
Plus, a major development years in the making may have several years to go. What we're learning about the new setbacks for the Brooklyn Village development.
And while the U.S. women's rugby team made history in Paris, another group of young women are making history right here at home. How they're breaking barriers and encouraging others to do the same. Thank you for joining us here at 10. I'm Nick Sertivant.
And I'm Jane Monreal. We are continuing to follow today's top stories, but first, let's check in on the weather.
Yeah, right now, Tropical Storm Debbie is moving closer to our area. Today, we're expecting scattered showers, but the downpour is really expected to pick up heading into tomorrow. You're taking a live look over Lake Norman. It's been a very dreary last couple of days. Week.
I don't think I've seen sunshine for a number of days now.
Where
Chris.
is it?
All right, well, let the lazy times roll, right?
There we go.
Literally got our head in the clouds right here in Dallas. So, yeah, timing when it's finally out of here.
All right, we are looking forward to that. Thanks, Chris. And as Tropical Storm Debbie churns over South Carolina this morning, we're also getting a better look at the impacts for millions in its path.
Yeah, take a look at your screen. You're looking at new video from Florida and South Carolina. We've now learned the worst hit parts of Florida got more than 18 inches of rain. And over in South Carolina, the storm dropped 17 inches in Somerville and 11 in Charleston. For context, Charleston usually gets about 7 inches of rain for the entire month of August. And in the last hour, South Carolina activated its storm hotline. Now, if you have any questions about the state's response to Tropical Storm Debbie or what safety precautions you should take, you should now call this number right there on your screen. This resource is free to anyone who needs it. And as Debbie inches closer, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina is now allowing customers to refill their prescriptions early ahead of the storm. This applies to the entire state following the governor's declaration of a state of emergency on Monday. Early prescriptions will be available for refill through August 19th.
Debbie is also getting in the way of the campaign trail this morning. We're learning Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance is postponing tomorrow's trip to the Tar Heel state. The announcement comes just a day after Vice President Kamala Harris also delayed her visit to the state. No word yet on when either of those events will be rescheduled.
New information out of Gadsden County. Overnight, Joshua Hunsucker was arrested again on new charges. He's a man accused of killing his wife, setting a helicopter on fire, and faking his own kidnapping. But now the 39-year-old is facing new charges for intimidating a witness and obstruction of justice. Hunsucker is behind bars on a $1.5 million bond. He's accused of poisoning his wife back in 2018 by sneaking her deadly amounts of eye drops.
This morning, a judge is upholding what could be on one of the North Carolina's most significant drunk driving verdicts. Less than 24 hours ago, a Franklin County jury had awarded a $40 million verdict after a deadly 2020 crash killed Susan Chappelle. But most of that had to be paid, not by the driver, but by her friend in the passenger seat. That's because the driver owned the car and let her friend drive it despite knowing she was drunk. The driver is also serving 13 to 16 years in jail.
Right now, South Carolina families are pushing for strict laws against fentanyl as deaths continue to rise. North Carolina already has a law against death by distribution, which punishes criminals who sell deadly amounts of drugs. Now, South Carolina families are encouraging lawmakers there to pass a similar bill.
The person who sold these drugs is just, they're living their life. They're out here probably swimming in pools, and my son is in a box in my living room.
And make it so the people that are dealing these drugs, they suffer what our children have suffered. They get life sentences because they're taking a life.
South Carolina lawmakers did introduce a death by distribution law this year, but it did not make it through the session. Families hope to have the community support as they continue to push for change.
Happening today, a controversial development that's been a long time coming still has a long way to go. A meeting tonight expected to reveal more delays on the Brooklyn Village development.
WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards has the details.
Mecklenburg County.
Meantime, a developer is now facing some blowback after revealing its plan for dozens of townhomes in southeast Charlotte. People living in Mammoth Oaks say the new development would cram too many people into one plot of land. They worry it would cause traffic and other issues. They're also concerned the developer, Veer Homes, lied about their plans when they bought homes to tear down for the development.
Mrs. Loring was in her late 90s when she passed away a year or so ago. Her desire was that her heritage property go towards single-family development. The daughter was very pleased when she felt that the property was being sold to someone who was going to develop single-family.
For its part, Veer Homes says it never misled the sellers and says the townhomes are a better use for the land.
And as we mentioned earlier, we are tracking Tropical Storm Debbie this morning as it churns through the Carolinas. And one of the big concerns towards the end of our week is flash flooding.
WCNC Charlotte meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees raising our weather IQ on the dangers of flash floods and one of the biggest mistakes we can make during a weather event like this.
And let's check back in with meteorologist Chris Mulcahy. Now, Chris, time this out for us. When can we start seeing that heavy downpour?
I'd really say early tomorrow morning, Nick, because you can see the eastern side of our viewing area, pretty much the I-77 corridor. We do include York and Chester County. Break from those lower to the mid-90s, at least for the time being.
All right, thank you, Chris. And we are continuing to track the impacts of Debbie. Now's a good time to download the WCNC Charlotte mobile app and turn weather alerts on so you can be prepared for potential impacts. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen.
The U.S. women's rugby team making history in Paris last week and earned a bronze medal in the process. But one rugby team here at home making history in a different way.
Clover Middle School in South Carolina has the first and only all-girls middle school team in the Southeast, and they are playing the game a little different. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker has their story.
For now in Charlotte, Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.
Toughening them up.
I know, right?
That was awesome.
Well, since the Olympics, the team hopes other girls will take up rugby. They say it's a great lesson of confidence and character. Plus, they want more girls to play against.
Yeah.
Did you watch any rugby?
Yes.
I'm a huge fan now.
Yeah.
They throw it up on their shoulders and things like that.
They're
It is
beasts.
insane.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey's a big fan.
I couldn't
following
hang.
them.
I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't either. They
Now,
get,
now I feel like we have to put our hands together.
I
and
know.
say,
We'll do that at the end. We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
All right. Well, a reminder that while the Olympics will be on WCNC Charlotte today, we still have your news headlines covered. We're going to be streaming again live at 2:30, and you can find that on our website, WCNC.com, or inside our WCNC mobile app. There we go.
1, 2, 3,
Oh, Team USA.